they will certainly use this particular crime to look for deportation orders. Donald Trump has signed one of the most egregious executive orders that I have seen in a long time. This executive order de facto bans desecrating the American flag, a constitutionally protected form of free speech. Let's dive into this executive order and see exactly what it's going on there. So you can see over here that in section B, it says in cases where the Department of Justice or another executive department or agency determines that an instance of American flag destruction may violate an applicable state or local law, such as open burning restrictions, disorderly conduct, or destruction of property laws, that agency shall refer the matter to the appropriate state or local authority for potential action. See, this is why I say that this is a de facto banning of the desecration of the American flag, a constitutionally protected form of free speech. Because had it not been for the act of burning that particular flag or desecrating that flag, you would not be investigated for these potential secondary crimes. But you see, it gets even more egregious. When we look into Section D, it states that the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and the Secretary of Homeland Security, acting within their respective authorities, shall deny, prohibit, terminate, or revoke visas, residence permits, naturalization proceedings, and other immigration benefits, or seek removal from the United States pursuant to federal law whenever there has been an appropriate determination that foreign nationals have engaged in American flag desecration. Let's take a look exactly what it is to desecrate the American flag. So in 18 U.S. Code 700, it says whoever knowingly mutilates, defaces, physically defiles, burns, or maintains on the floor or ground or tramples upon any flag of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for not more than 1 year or both. So when we look at why it's important, we get into the idea of desecration versus burning is desecration, but desecration is a very broad terminology that can just simply mean you wear it the wrong way or it touches the ground. And they want to revoke people's visas and naturalization proceedings and even try to find a secondary offense, such as disorderly conduct, for simply dropping the flag on the ground. What's even more wild is that we've seen the Trump administration have certain kinds of products like this, for example, but this is obviously not desecration of the American flag, right? Or how about the time that Donald Trump signed his name on the American flag? But we all know MAGA has a completely different set of standards than we do ourselves. But see, there's a deeper thing that we have to understand with what's going on right now. You see, there are actually a couple of days ago, we saw where Donald Trump's administration said that they were looking into over 55 million people who have valid U.S. visas for any violations that could lead to deportation. So when you pair this report from a couple of days ago, paired with the fact of what we have seen now with this desecration of the American flag, they will certainly use this particular crime to look for deportation orders. You see, this crime of desecrating the American flag is certainly going to get appealed, possibly all the way up to the Supreme Court. But in the meantime, we are going to see deportations inevitably skyrocket because of this particular executive order. This all also comes on the heels of the National Guard being deployed to several American cities. You know, I've looked at and I've talked to several Republicans and on the right and asked them, where is your line in the sand to say, hey, this is too far? And the reality is Republicans don't have a line too far. For example, we saw on January 6th when numerous people were absolutely desecrating the American flag by the own statute's law. But again, we all know that this is going to be disproportionately used against people of color. It's going to be used against people that disagree with Donald Trump. They are going to use this for any way to try to find a reason to deport undocumented migrants, even those that are going through naturalization proceedings. This is a uniquely abhorrent executive order, and it's going to be one of many that we are going to see to come. Let me know what you think about this executive order in the comments. comments, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Thank you so much for watching this video.